two of the UFC's top contenders in the light heavyweight division clash in a fight night, Saturday night. Now, the rest of the card leaves a lot to be desired, but I'm here to make my picks and tell you what else to look for right now. Intro. Alright guys, welcome back to Championship Rounds. This is the Champ Chat 9. Yes, the subject matter today is a UFC fight night headlined by Thiago Santos and Jamahal Hill. Not to be confused with Jamahal Hill, as it's spelled. Anyhow, as always guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. Be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. I got the homie, the doctor, Matt here, whom has been kind enough to step away from the operating table and join me to make these picks. What's up, Matt?
What's happening, guy?
Hey, it's always good when you're around, when you're on the show. It's always a great time. We're going to jump in here and break down these picks. Now, Matt, I know we were both tied at 3-2, but you got up on me. I'm 3-3 and you're 4-2 now because of RDA and Rafael Fiziev. So, kudos to you. But let's jump in here and tackle the co-main event first. You got number 6 Vicente Luque, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, against Jeff Neal, whom has a decent record in the UFC, standing at 6-2. Matt, how do you have Vicente Luque versus Jeff Neal going?
I have Vicente Luque whooping that ass on the feet. He's definitely a better Muay Thai striker. He has great jiu-jitsu. Jeff Neal jumped on the scene like hot prospect, but he's been kind of not doing so well, in my opinion, lately. I think Vincent Luque is going to get him.
Well, I large in part concur, Matt, because Jeff Neal, although he's stepped in the scene with a decent record, as I put, he doesn't have the volume. He doesn't have the jiu-jitsu. He's strong. He can get takedowns. He can stay on his feet. He's got power with his hands. But Vicente Luque is just better everywhere. If the fight's on the feet, I'm picking Vicente Luque. If the fight's on the canvas, that's right, picking Vicente Luque. So I'm picking Vicente Luque to win the fight. Anything else to add to this before we move on to the main event?
I do not.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the main event. That's number 6, Thiago Santos versus the up-and-comer, if you will, Jamahal Hill, who is 4-1-1 in the UFC, one of his victories being taken away for testing positive for marijuana. Matt, does Maheta show that he's still top tier, or does Jamahal Hill show that he's coming?
Oh, this is a tough one. I want to pick Santos because used to be real big on him until the man had to learn to walk again, and it just don't seem the same to me. And Jamahal Hill, and he's gonna bring it. So I'm gonna have to go with Jamahal Hill on this one.
Well, it looks like we're going to be picking the same on these two fights because, yes, Maheta was a beast at 185 pounds, middleweight to the casual. He rivaled Anderson Silva's finishing record. He might have even tied it or even eclipsed it before he moved to light heavyweight. Like a lot of other middleweights who moved from middleweight to light heavyweight, he realized success. Yes, a lot of guys move from middleweight and realize success, even becoming champion like your Jan Blachowicz of the world. Yes, I believe Thiago Santos was closer than any man not named Vitor Belfort with the armbar to defeating John Jones. Yes, he was closer to beating John Jones than Reyes. I forget his first name. Reyes. Why can I remember? Dominic Reyes. Thank you, Matt. Yes, Thiago Santos actually took a card from one of the judges. Name another fighter that did that. Gustafsson didn't even do that. Anyhow, I believe his best years are behind him. He's gun shy now. I believe the hammer that he's got famously tattooed on his chest, I believe he only uses that now when he's at home with Yana Kunitskaya. I don't believe he takes it to the cage with him. With that being said, I believe Jamahal Hill has the power. I believe he has the youth. And I don't think he's gun shy at all. I think he gets in there and mixes it up with Maheta, who is still very, very dangerous, let me add. But I feel large in part that Jamahal Hill wins a decision. I think this one goes the distance, Matt. I think Jamahal Hill wins the decision based on just throwing more. One or both of them might be hurt at a time or two in the fight, but I see it going to a decision, and I see Jamahal Hill coming away with the victory. Anything to add on that?
I agree.
All right. Okay, so we just got a few other things to talk about pertaining to this card. The first being the younger brother, whom is bigger, of the pound for pound king, if you put him there, Kamaru Usman. His name is Muhammad Usman. He's making his UFC debut. He fought on the Ultimate Fighter in the heavyweight division. He's coming off a split decision win that landed him into this finale position. He kind of fizzled out of the PFL, losing his last fight before he entered the Ultimate Fighter. But Matt, he's going up against another guy that wants to enter the UFC with an Ultimate Fighter plaque. How do you got him faring here?
Oh man, I'm ready for this fight. This is my edge of the seat fight right here. I know what Usman's capable of, and everybody really don't know what the Zach dude's capable of. I think Zach is just going to dominate this fight and get the win over Usman. I think he's a better, well-rounded fighter, better striker, better on the ground. And I'm not sure about his takedown defense because we're just learning about him, but still, I think he's a better fighter. I think he takes his fight.
Well, that could very well be the case, Matt. My take on this is that Muhammad is not Kamaru. Muhammad doesn't have the wrestling of Kamaru. Muhammad doesn't have the cardio of Kamaru. And he's a bigger man. Man, I see Muhammad Usman, whom I hope does well. I really do. I see him gassing, bro. I see him gassing out, and I see his opponent either getting him out of there or winning the decision. And I know that sounds bad, but when you're carrying around all that extra weight, you look like a specimen. It's not the best body style for the sport. So with that being said, again, I've got him taking the L.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree.
All right, Matt. Well, we're moving on to Smiling Sam Alvey. Yes, Smiling Sam Alvey, the UFC mainstay. Well, his stay has been a bit controversial lately because his run in his last 8 fights, 0 wins. That's right. You heard me correctly. 0 wins. Let me get it closer. 0 wins. All right. 0 wins, 1 draw, and 7 defeats. Fucking 7. Who can fight in the UFC that long in the span of 8 fights and compile a record of 0-7-1 and still be around to fight this weekend? Sam Alvey, that's who. Now, he's going in there against another guy that's kind of wishy-washy, but his record as of late's a lot better than Sam Alvey's. Does Sam win this fight, retire, or is this another bad matchup for Sam that is going to force his retirement, at least from the UFC?
I think this is a bad matchup for him, and it's going to force his retirement. I don't understand how so many people get cut after 2-3 losses, and this dude's still here. Sam Alvey, you've entertained us over years. I really do love the shit out of you, sir, but it's time to sit down somewhere.
I agree, sir. I mean, exciting guy to watch fight. Exciting guy to watch fight. It's going to be a fight when he's in there. He's either going to go out on his shield or get beat trying to get that victory or getting the victory. I don't want to shit all the way over the guy. I just believe the game is past him now. You got the younger guys coming up whooping his ass. You got the guys that have been in the game for a while whooping his ass. Time to hang it up. I mean, you got former world champions that don't get that long of a leash of losing fights consecutively that they let go. So, you know, the UFC gods have smiled on Sam Alvey, no pun intended. Actually, pun intended. But, yeah, I think he needs to get in there and give it all he has, and I hope he gets a W. I hope he gets a W. I hope he keeps his job, and I hope he fights again. Like I said, he's an exciting guy to watch. I just don't think it's the precedent for losing fights consecutively has already been set, and this guy's been able to slip underneath the radar. But we're moving on to the last point here. Terrence T-Rex McKinney, the hot prospect who Joe Rogan even expressed interest in bringing him on the Joe Rogan Experience because of his wild upbringing, his crazy humble upbringing. Well, in his last fight, McKinney was taken out TKO style by Drew Dober. Now, Drew Dober isn't a world beater, but he's definitely right there. If you beat him, you're ready. If you don't, you're not. So in this fight, they took it back a few pegs, 4 or 5 pegs, and given him a lot less stiffer competition. Do we see Terrence McKinney getting back to his winning ways, or is this the start of a decline as far as his UFC record is concerned?
I believe this is his comeback. That dude's got some serious hands. I believe he gets this one. I think he's got the advantage in this fight.
And you could be correct on that. There was a fight he had in his UFC career thus far where it was a guy that was a jiu-jitsu grappling specialist, and I tweeted him and I was like, hey, just stay off the mat with this guy. You'll touch him up on the feet. Not only did he go to the ground with the guy, he finished him there. Shows how much I know, I guess. You got anything else to add on this card before we get the hell out of here? Dr. Matt?
No, sir. It's going to be a good card to watch, sir.
All right. Well, I don't see any movement in our records since seeing how we picked the exact same. But guys, let me know what your picks are in the comments. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I'll be back for the next show, the next news in sports. Be on the lookout. And until next time, stay frosty.